This is Golf Talk Canada, presented by TaylorMade. This segment of GTC is brought to you by the Muskoka Bay Club and Resort. Live, stay, and play.
All right, several years ago, I decided to put a synthetic green in my backyard. Sounded like a good idea until about 6 months into the project, it was unusable. So I reached out to our friends now at AGL Grass and I said, can you help me? Can you fix this? Can we put in a new one? What can you guys do that nobody else can? Or can you at least help me get this back to working condition? They went well above and beyond. What a fun process. What a great day. Let's have a look at the installation. Nick, I had a green that was done before by another company.
Right.
So there's been some challenges with that green. So that's important right there to know who you're doing business with.
For sure.
Okay, so now I feel good working with AGL. I feel so confident that you guys are here. So
Thanks.
Let's explain first what we have to do before you can even do what you need to do. You need to take out this green. So what happens when that starts?
So what we're basically doing here is we're removing the previous green that was installed by that company. So we're started off by peeling it back, cutting up the old one, removing it, and then taking a closer look at the base work. And then from there, proceeding to see what we have to do. There were some mounds built by the previous company. So we're gonna proceed by removing those mounds, leveling it out, making sure that the area is all flat and smooth. And then after that, we'll proceed by designing our golf, laying it out, placing our holes, and then proceed with the install.
So part of the challenge was the grade.
Right.
There were some areas that were super high, some areas that were super low. So do you dig into one side, bring up the other? How do you decide what comes up, what goes down?
So what we want to do is we want to look at the overall level of the area. We want to establish our base point. So from there, we'll determine where we want to lower and raise up. There was a big mound, so first we would remove that and then establish. Once we have our level established, then we would proceed by raising up the rest of the area and creating a nice flat level.
So the previous company put something down as, you know, what they put underneath the synthetic turf that you would putt or chip on. Do you have to put something else now down on top of that? Is there a base layer underneath the grass that you need to lay in?
So yeah, so we would remove they added 3/4 and a limestone screening mix. So we were going to remove that and add just a fine limestone screening base. That way it's a nice smooth level and it's great for golf.
Now you're going to use a specific type of synthetic that's different than the rough area that you and I are standing on right now. So what kind of grass, like what's the measurement, or how do you describe what is actually going down as the putting surface?
So as a putting surface, it's about a 5/8 thick leisure. So it's meant for golf. It has the speed rating for golf itself. So it's more of a
consistent?
Yeah, it's more of a consistent ground or surface, right? Than what you had before.
And finally, before we go, because I can't wait to see the finished project, and the more I talk to you, the more I'm getting in your way, and I know you got lots to do. The cups the last time around, you and I, when I was kind of hovering over your shoulder, those cups are kind of quite raised. You have a different way of putting the cups in the actual green itself, so it has some movement, some mobility, so it can move during the seasons, freezing, thawing, etc. Can you just explain that?
For sure. So what the previous company had done is that they dug it down quite deep and did a concrete pour around the cup itself, which doesn't allow any movement. With the climate Canada has, it has some moisture from it freezing and drying out. It's eventually going to lift that all up. Well, the way we do it is we actually just put the cup itself into the ground. That way, with any movement, the cup itself has some movement with it, and it won't be such a huge surface coming up.
Initially, it was started out with an 18-year-old man from the Grimsby area. So it's been three decades now. And the focus originally was with turf. And so it's evolved from turf into what we now call AGL Complete. And whether it's a small project like we're doing here in your backyard, or hotels down in Vegas, or celebrities down in California, we take it from the very beginning to the end and make it as elaborate as you want. Whether it is grass, turf, golf, putting greens, or just interior of hotels. It's the whole complete gamut. The idea is to make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible, not just grass, the whole gamut.
Right, you mentioned conventions and hotels, and I've
Absolutely.
seen stadium shots
Yes.
and things of that nature. But from a Canadian perspective, I know you mentioned it started with an 18-year-old male, but how long have you been in business in Canada for?
30 plus years. Right now it's been around 33 years. And again, initially it started out with just turf. And so the owner, Ivan Kotu, started the business, and he traveled worldwide to install sports fields and turf. And then it just evolved into what it is today.
Okay, our audience is a golf audience, so
Yes.
they're excited to see the final product, which we're going to show. But I got to think that this market is heated up quite a bit because, you know, during the last year and a half, during the pandemic, you know, things like pools, hot tubs, people are spending money in their homes and their playgrounds. And this was already a market kind of on the upswing. Has it taken off as much as I think it has?
Absolutely it has. Keep in mind, we're in a current COVID climate. And so what that means, a lot of people are not able to travel. So they're investing the money back into their homes. So you'll have a lot of families, mostly men, that are getting their putting greens done in the backyard. Ladies, we welcome all of you as well. But for the most part, yeah, the putting greens are going in a lot more rampant than we would have had done in the past. So that's been an absolutely fantastic thing.
No project too big, no project too small.
Heck
Putting
no.
surfaces, anything goes. Thanks so much, Erica.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And here is the final product. Looks absolutely spectacular, but as good as it looks, I'm actually just as thrilled with how it works. The ball receives for pitching, chipping, and here I am rolling one in. To be honest with you, that was take two. You can see the first putt short of the lip there, but things are getting better. Thank you so much, the AGL team. It was a fun day and an excellent final product. On the other side, we'll tell you how you can win 6 dozen Tour Response golf balls. This is Golf Talk Canada.